This is a factory which makes one house every day. Here, timber is being dressed to size in a 4-sider thicknesser. From the thicknesser, the timber is wheeled away on trolleys to be cut to length. All the standard lengths required are set out on this long bench by means of stops set at the standard distances from the saw. The painters put priming on the weatherboard before it's cut. Any special cuts in the studs for bracing are made on the bench. And here is the word for it, hanging above the racks of dressed and cut timber. The key to the whole business is the building up of sections of the house on horizontal jigs. It's the same idea as the mass production of heavy bombers by the use of sub-assemblies. These jigs can be varied slightly to pattern several different sections of house. Each section has a serial number to indicate the order in which the sections must be loaded on the truck that will take it away. Here, ready-cut weatherboard is being nailed onto a section of outside wall. By the end of each day, all the parts for the house are ready. By 9 o'clock each morning, all the parts are on a truck. And this morning, the Minister of Housing, the Honourable Robert Semple, is here to see it leave the factory. As soon as it's been inspected, the factory-made house is on its way to the housing sites. The house arrives where the foundations are, on the new housing estate at Nainai, Hutt Valley. A row of foundations are ready to have houses put on them. 10 o'clock. The first section is in position. This is the newest way of building houses. The truck works its way round the foundations, and the sections come off in order and are put into position. The interior partitions are also being prefabricated. Not all prefabricated houses are alike. This house, which is going up, is only one of a number of possible variations of this particular basic design. By lunchtime, the last of the outside sections, the front of the sunroom, is put into position. After lunch, it's the turn of the roof trusses to be put into their place. Next, the gable ends. There's not much more to do now before the tiles go on and make the job weatherproof, ready for interior work. All these houses are prefabricated. It's 3 o'clock now, 6 hours since the parts for the last house left the factory. Prefabrication will help to solve the housing problem. This is the cutting out room of a New Zealand footwear factory. All these men are on the one job, cutting out uppers. It could be done by machine, but machines can neither see nor select. With years of experience behind them, these skilled men know exactly how to cut each hide so that the toughest parts will get the toughest wear. To boot and shoemaking, women bring some of their traditional skill. With a special sewing machine that trims the edges as it sews, they deftly fasten the linings into the uppers. At all stages, specially designed machines speed the making of boots and shoes. In the days before machines, it took a fast bootmaker 10 minutes to pull the upper firmly onto the last. This machine does it in half a minute. Slowed up, its action is like this. The claw pulls and gathers the upper leather onto the last, as a cobbler would when using a pair of pincers. At the same time, tacks are automatically fed and driven to hold the upper to the insole. Fast, labor-saving machines such as this were the backbone of the footwear industry in peacetime. They were its salvation in wartime, For New Zealand factories have not only had to supply New Zealand soldiers, but Allied troops as well, and at the same time make up for the shortage of civilian footwear. For every 100 pairs they turned out before the war, they now turn out 178. After nearly 200 operations, flat leather has become finished shoe. A final polish, and it's all ready for the road. Thanks to the skill and industry of the men and women in the factories, wartime New Zealanders have never really been down on their uppers. These are Corsairs, the latest planes now being flown by the R.N.Z.A.F. out of this advanced Pacific base. Carrying heavier firepower, they give our combat pilots a still greater chance of cleaning the nips out of the skies. First used off the decks of aircraft carriers, these planes have already been flown by U.S. pilots in the Pacific. Now New Zealand pilots are taking them over and taking them up against Japan. They get cracking to chase more Zeros, and they won't be left behind when it comes to speed. With these Corsairs, faster than anything they've flown before and more deadly, they can get right after the enemy and keep at him. They come out against Japan. Corsairs flown by New Zealanders who've already proved they can lick the Jap in the air, and they're out to keep on licking him.